sad.
I'm so sad.
Rest in peace, Olivia Newton-John.
Such a pivotal part, our childhood. Yeah. I watched Grease on repeat. I was obsessed with it.
Literally, every single person our age, especially a girl, has performed some song in Grease in a show or a play or whatever. And, it's even being performed to this day at male strip clubs. Grease Lightning.
Grease Lightning. And it's crazy because that film was, I think we looked it up earlier, in 1976, 73.
Like that, yeah.
In the 70s.
So old.
And the fact that it's just one of those classics that continue to be a classic.
Yeah. A classic that continues to be a classic.
A classic that continues to be, I had a brain fart. A classic
forever
that can
and always.
Forever and always. Did I ever tell you my John Travolta story?
No, do tell.
When I first watched Grease, I was obsessed with Danny Zuko. I was in love with him. I was convinced that we were going to get married.
Right.
And I was 6 years old?
Yeah.
I had my life planned out. So we went to the Orange County Fair, and my mom goes, "Hey, look behind you." And I look back and I see this old guy. I'm like, "All right, cool. Who is that?" She goes, "That's John Travolta. That's Danny Zuko." No, it's not. Like, Danny Zuko has slicked back hair, wears a leather jacket, and is hot. Like, that's not. And my mom had to convince me that was John Travolta. And he was there with his family. And I immediately started crying and questioned my life existence.
Now, did he try to get you in Scientology at that moment?
No.
I don't think he was assigned. Did Scientology even exist back then?
Oh, yeah. Scientology has been around for a while, but I don't think that he was a Scientologist yet. I don't know when John Travolta joined Scientology, but he was probably wondering why this child looked at him and immediately burst into tears. And it was because you don't look like Danny Zuko anymore.
You're not Danny Zuko. Well, there's a lot of celeb gossip to talk about, but so much has happened since the last time I saw you.
I know. We have to do our check-in.
Daily check-in. So the last time I saw you, you came over for the dog sidekick, correct?
Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, we promised that we would tell you how it went. It was a complete bust.
Sham.
A shimmity sham. Jen just sat here filming me the whole time, and her and Jeff were making fun of me.
Yes. You paid for our entertainment that afternoon.
Everything was subjective, and there was just nothing unique going on, nothing special. Everything that I asked to happen through the sidekick, like Sasha stop licking, didn't happen. So, we're at square one. It is what it is. But more importantly, I'm over that dog sidekick nonsense because I didn't tell you this, but I went to get Reiki for the first time.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. So I've heard of this. I have never experienced it, and I'm very interested. I'm all ears. So what happened?
So I don't know if my experience was common, but the Reiki master that I went to said she has like a physical reaction to doing Reiki.
You have a history of this. So I am excited.
Yeah. She didn't spit on me.
That's good.
She was like clearing out the chakras. Like I could feel like she lightly touches you or puts her hands above you. Like when she was above my throat chakra, she wasn't even touching me. And I could feel like energy coming to the tip and like felt myself wheezing a little bit. Like I was choking on something. And then I would feel like pressure at the top of my head. And the whole time, like she's doing all this weird stuff, like her physical reaction to her being connected to you and your energy is like she would like shake or she would burp to like release the energy. She touched this part in the back of my head and started freaking the fuck out, crying. And she was saying things to me. She was like, she touched my head. She starts freaking out. I feel her like shaking and flipping out. And she's like, you had the gift. And then they hurt you and they made you put it away. And I was like,
oh my God.
So when we finished, and she did it for 45 minutes, I was like, can you elaborate a little bit more? Like, what was going on when you touched back my head? And she said that she could see that I was connected to spirits. Maybe I have like the psychic gene in me. And when I was younger, it was more interactive. And then something happened, like some sort of trauma, and it made me like shut it down and not explore it more. And she was like, did somebody die? And I was like, yeah, my soul. Because like
that would have been my answer as well.
Yeah. I mean, clearly I became a drug addict after that. So something died in me, but it's alive now. It's fine.
My morals.
Yeah, exactly. So it was interesting. And I am supposed to go back again, but I don't know. I'm scared about like opening myself up to that stuff because she also said she's like a medium, but she's not like super good at it. And that last week she got like half possessed by a spirit and like fell to the ground and didn't really know how to handle it. And she said that was not very professional of her. So now I'm like scared that something like that's going to happen while I'm in the room.
Okay. So this whole gift thing, did it resonate with you at all?
So it did. But it's one of those things. I believe things happened to me as a kid, but because I was a kid, I have a hard time determining if it was just like a vivid imagination or like did things actually happen.
Yeah.
I used to like see things in my room, or like I swear one time I woke up and I was floating and I fell down, like just like weird stuff.
Like you were actually floating and you fell down, or you were dreaming that you were floating?
Well, I was dreaming I was full blown flying, and then when I woke up I felt like I was like a couple inches above my bed and then I fell down. But again, I don't know if that's just like me being a crazy person, if I'm making that up, because I remember that happening. And then I'm also convinced I saw a ghost twice, like two totally different ghosts. And my grandmother used to like be super scared of mirrors and like tape shopping bags up to them because like she was seeing ghosts in the mirrors. So I don't really know. I do always feel like maybe I was connected, but I don't know. It also kind of scares me to open myself up to stuff like that and like get possessed or like have something happen that I'm not expecting.
Yeah. I think that's scary. I've always toyed with that idea, but I also know that, you know, growing up Christian and in my beliefs that you don't really touch that.
Yeah, it's a big no-no with the Christians.
Yeah, which I understand why.
Yeah.
But it's also always intrigued me. I don't know. But it scares me too. I'm intrigued and I'm scared all at the same time.
I think for me, like I'm just trying to go on this journey of like what I believe in and really trying to gauge and understand that. I grew up Roman Catholic and I never really felt connected to that church. And then I came here for treatment and I started going to like Christian churches and I felt more connected to that energy and that vibe. But like I see a lot of commonalities in all different types of religions. And I think that it all kind of leads to like what I'm starting to believe more of, which is that like God in all different religions is just like this spiritual being. And I think that our spirits go like in and out of wherever that energy and space is. Like I think like our little spirits just fly around in the galaxy until they're ready to go back down somewhere. I don't know. That's like the short version of it.
Yeah.
So I'm really just trying to like learn and explore. I would love to do past life regression to see, because I do believe in like the reincarnation of our spirit, but we usually just don't remember. And I get all of this belief and knowledge from the Netflix show because like obviously, you know,
Netflix is the holy grail.
Exactly. So Netflix taught me. So that's what I believe now.
Hashtag Netflix taught me. Yeah, I think that religion is very interesting to me. I have my beliefs. And I have my strong beliefs. But it's also always very interesting that, you know, everybody kind of believes that their religion is the one, right? Where you're right. It all kind of leads back to God. But, you know, the way that I believe or that I practice or the rituals that I have is the right way. And that's the only way. And I think everybody kind of feels that that's their own little world. But I've always found it extremely interesting because I don't even find atheism very interesting, because it's hard for me to believe that you're born, you grow up, you work, you pay bills, you get Alzheimer's and you die.
Yeah.
Like that. And then nothing happens after that. For me, that is harder to wrap my head around than a heaven, a hell, an afterlife, a soul. For me, that just makes more sense than you get buried in the ground and you turn into compost and that's it.
Well, I also think I believe in evolution and the spiritual being.
Well, there has to be, right?
I mean, that's the science that we've been able to prove. This other stuff is otherworldly, so it's very hard to prove that. But there are people that have experiences, near-death experiences, that are able to confirm some of this stuff. It's just not widely practiced or investigated.
Yeah. Well, and there has to be a mixture of both, right? Yeah. So my dad had cancer. You can't just pray it away.
Right.
You know, there's science and doctors and surgeries that all play a part of that is super important. But do we thank God that he got another chance?
Of course.
Of course, because we thank God that he realized he had the signs. We thank God that there are doctors that have the ability to find this stuff. So there has to be a combination of both. And the fact that, you know, I don't want to say evolution because it's not, I don't think it's like the technical actual term of it, but the fact that we have what's the term I'm looking for? But like adapted, right? So even to how we've lived 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years ago is so different than now because we've had to adapt.
Yeah.
So there has to be some kind of this quote unquote evolution.
Yeah.
And there has to be a mix of science and religion because if not, it just, none of it makes sense on its own.
Well, of course. And one of my favorite quotes when it comes to that is like, just because we know how the body works and like we know that the heart pumps blood to different extremities on our body doesn't make it any less of a miracle that the heart does that, you know? It's actually a quote from True Blood, a show that you need to watch.
We'll get to that.
Yeah.
what I'm not watching. Yeah, they're, you know, and I've always said, I don't care if you believe that Barney is the second coming and we should all be praising him. If that's what gets you over the hump and into your next, you know, situation and over, you know, difficulties and through the joyous times, fantastic. Yeah. You can have that. I know what I believe, which I don't, maybe I feel like I can go into these situations of whatever medium and know that I do have that belief.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know that it's also, it could also be inviting bad things. So
that's the spooky part.
Yeah.
Because I swear I've been like hearing things in the house and now I'm more paranoid and I'm sure it's nothing, but we always hear a creak coming from upstairs. Okay. That always freaks me out. But I'm like, you know, houses creak, but I'm like, why does it keep creaking so loud?
In that one spot.
In that one spot. Exactly. And then this ring I'm wearing here, which like literally I did nothing. The other day I picked it up and it was like all bent to the side and it's like hard metal. It's like, how did that happen? I'm so confused. So all weekend long, I was like talking with Jeff that I think a ghost like squeezed my ring or something.
And I'm sure he rolled his eyes.
No, he was like really confused too about how it happened.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but he doesn't believe in ghosts. He's very cynical when it comes to that stuff.
I feel like it can't all just be like coincidences, right? Like when there's a song and I never hear it and it always just comes on when I'm having that moment of doubt or disconnection. Yeah. It's hard to just believe that that's all coincidences or that feeling that, oh, I feel like this person's here. Or you go to a specific spot, maybe where you shared with that person and you can feel their presence.
Yeah.
Again, I can wrap my head more around that they're here or they're watching over us versus they're gone.
Energy is real. We have electricity in our bodies. Mm-hmm. Like our heart runs on electricity. That's why they use the defibrillators to bring it back.
Right.
You know? So like that energy is so crucial. It's like, it's hard to believe you could have so much energy and be a being and then just poof, be gone. Now I'm dirt. Like that doesn't make sense.
No.
That energy has to go somewhere. And that's what Reiki is about. It's energy healing. It's energy releasing. It's energy work.
Yeah.
So it's really cool. Apparently it's really safe. It's something that the Japanese started like a century ago.
Really? I feel like that's not a lot of time.
Maybe I'm, misstating the facts, but I'm 90% sure it's
you didn't come here for the facts. So.
Yeah, exactly. That it's a century-old Japanese traditional practice of medicine to help with the energies. And I felt them moving around. Like I felt it in my head. It wasn't like some areas were stronger than others for sure, but it's definitely interesting. It's definitely worth trying once in your life to see if it's for you or not.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, and I feel like even if whatever, it's all in your head, right? Mm-hmm. But if it made you feel better after it, then to me it's a success.
Yeah.
I'm glad you didn't tell me until right now because that's so interesting.
To save something for the pod. Otherwise we're boring.
Boring. I know. I literally all I did yesterday was lay in bed. It was terrible. I mean, it was good, but it was terrible. Yeah. I had a long week of traveling. I want this to be a public service announcement. When you're traveling, know what the hell you're doing, know where you're going, and don't hold people up.
Don't waste our time.
Don't waste people's time. When the plane lands, don't stand up. There's no need to stand up because guess what? You're going to get off at the same exact time as everybody else.
Yep.
Know how to get through TSA. Take your shoes off. Pull your laptop out, take your jacket off, and keep the line moving.
Watching people go through the monitor in security and it's like beeping and they're like, is there anything in your pockets? And they just look at you like you have 100 heads and then they pull their cell phone out of their pocket. Like, were you born yesterday?
I know.
Like, what are we doing?
At this point, I know. Every time I go, I stand up with my arms in the air. I always know that my wrist is going to light it up. So what do I do when I walk out? I pull my wrist out. so that they can, or it's going to, my bra, one or the other. So I know, and I can keep the line moving. I get very passionate about this because I travel so often. It's just, we're in 2022. Get your shit together.
I know.
Some of the scanners, you don't have to pull your laptop out. Some you do. I always ask, hey, do I need to take my laptop out? And then move forward. I just ask. I don't question it. I do whatever they say and you move on.
Yeah.
It's terrible. My meeting was running late and I was like, I hadn't eaten all day. This is my MO. I don't eat when I travel. But I didn't eat. Well, and you're just moving around. You don't even think about it. So I was like, no worries. I'll park. I'll return my rental car. I'll get in. I'll go to Sky Club. I'll stuff my face with all the free food and drinks that I can in 15 minutes and get on my flight. TSA was a shit show. Returning my rental car I just don't know where everybody was going on a Thursday at 5:00 from the airport. But then I go to run into Sky Club. There's a line out the door, around the corner, down the wall. I'm like, what? So then I had to pay $25 for a dry ass sandwich, a bag of chips, and a water.
They should give you a refund for that because that is bullshit. Honestly, traveling is so difficult right now. It's like really scary and everything's so expensive. I was looking at flights for Christmas already and I'm just like, oh my God, it's so bad already.
I was trying to do like a quick trip up north because I'm like, oh, perfect. I'm in Atlanta. I'll fly up for the weekend, maybe visit the shore and come back. It was, first of all, if I wanted like the $181 Spirit Airlines flight, I would be flying for 7 hours. I would land at like 11 something at night from Atlanta. And then I would have to leave Sunday morning at 5 a.m.
Yeah, we're not doing all that.
And then if I wanted a more reasonable time, it was going to be like $600. I said, I'm not doing that to spend 48 hours there.
No, it's not worth it. It's so crazy.
The airport is insane. So I don't know how people are doing it.
They're barely doing it. Guys, just stay home. Stay home so I can travel.
Yeah,
okay, thanks. Bye.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Are we ready to jump in?
Let's just dive in because there's a lot.
It's a lot.
For some reason, it all involves the Kardashians. Kardashians. Skeet broke up.
Skeet.
First of all, when they said broke up after 9 months of dating, I was severely confused because I totally thought they were together longer.
It felt like a long time. This year is kind of just like crawling by. But honestly, I'm not surprised. Like, I'm really surprised they lasted as long as they did because we knew he was just a rebound. She was just having a fun time. She was literally just married in this like crazy relationship for as many years as she was. Like, who has time for a full-blown committed relationship after that?
I think we're going to disagree on this one. I thought that this relationship is so crazy that it's going to work.
You thought it was like going to be another Bennifer?
Yeah. Well, that's still, listen, the jury's still out on that one, if that one's going to last.
Yeah.
But it grew on me, I think. I don't know why. And maybe it's because she wasn't being annoying like Kravis.
Yeah.
She wasn't like posting all the time.
Cute.
They were just I feel like they were kind of normal.
And good for them. But for those of you that don't know, the reason why Kim and Pete broke up allegedly is because he is filming a movie in Australia and Australia is really far away and it stopped being convenient for her. She's trying to get the D.
I mean, but it's not long term, right? Like movies film for a couple months. Like, how short is your attention span that if I don't see you for a couple months, this isn't going to work?
I mean, early on in a relationship, if you don't see them for a week, you're like dying.
Have you never watched 90 Day Fiance? These people have been in relationships for like 10 years and they've never met in person.
Jen, those people are literally insane.
I know, but it's so good.
I just can't get on that one with you.
I'm sorry.
They're so crazy.
I know, but it's so good. And now I'm watching 90 Day Fiance UK. All right, we're gonna get into what I'm watching and not watching. But I did a movie role is max a couple months. I just feel like this is
like 5 to 6 months sometimes. But like I said,
he's coming home. Like, and he would come back because they would be spotted together. She would go over there. You have a PJ. I would take that PJ as many times as I could. I don't know. I feel like it's a cop out, and maybe it's more of because in that last episode of the Kardashians, she's talking about that BDE and DDF and whatever. So I just feel like this was supposed to be a lot more fun, and it was getting more serious because the traveling, him being public about wanting kids. She's probably doesn't want any more kids.
Yeah, she has 4 of them. She's all done. they're just in two different places in their lives. And I'm happy that they had fun while they did. And I'm sure they learned a lot from each other. But, you know, all good things come to an end sometimes. And it was time.
Yeah.
The expiration date had passed probably a month ago. And it was starting to get real stank. So she threw it out. It is what it is.
I don't know. She'll find it. It was weird. Who do we think is the next one? Who does she date next?
Oh, God. I don't know. That's a really good question. Who else is like super popular and like around her age? Because now she's into the white boys. So what other white boy would she like?
Does it have to be popular? Because, you know, Chloe was like dating some investor guy. I mean, they broke up too. They broke up. She had the baby. There was a lot going on in that world.
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think that she goes with somebody famous like that again?
I feel like
is it worth it?
I feel like Kim has to. She's so powerful. Like, I don't know how she couldn't. Like, her and Kanye were like such a power move being together. Like, who else is just like super famous, like taking over the world type of guy?
I mean, but it doesn't have to be famous. It can't be, you know, some finance or tech guy that
Mark Zuckerberg.
Boom. Ew. No way.
I'm just kidding.
No
Let's
way.
Google powerful men in their 40s. Hey Siri, who are some powerful men in their 40s?
This is going to be really interesting. I'm leaving this part in, by the way.
Okay. So Mark Zuckerberg, there's some Russian billionaires, maybe an Israeli prince.
Listen, if she thought going to Australia for just a couple months was too much for long distance, it's got to be somebody in LA.
Yeah, that's true. It's Googling, hey Siri, who are some powerful men? No wonder I'm getting weird directions here. Ooh, Bradley Cooper is single. He's a fun time. He's also in recovery. What about Robert Pattinson? But I think he's in England.
I don't think that they're gonna, but it doesn't have to be. I don't know. You think they didn't work out because that off balance of Pete? I think she needs somebody funny because you can't have just some like stuck up business guy.
Yeah, because she's not funny.
Is she not funny?
She's not funny. She admits that all the time too.
I mean, I don't think she's a great actress, but I think she has potential to just kind of be like off, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Accidentally funny.
Google's not doing me well right now. She is accidentally funny from time to time, but she will publicly admit that she's not the funny one. We all know Chloe's the funny one. But anyway, speaking of Chloe's
my favorite.
Yeah. Chloe Monet. She had her baby.
I know, via surrogate.
Baby boy. So she hasn't officially chosen a name yet. We're waiting for that release.
I think we're waiting for her to even announce.
Yeah.
Do you think she's going to do the same thing as Kylie did and just take forever to announce the name of the child? By the way, I think that the baby name for Kylie was going to be Wolf, but then somebody like her friend accused her of taking that name. So I think she was going to change the baby's name.
Well, as of right now, it's still Wolf Webster.
Oh, stupid
So
name.
we'll see how that goes. It is really dumb. It makes me think of wolf spiders, which are basically tarantulas, and it terrifies me.
Oh.
I think of that because wolf web. So I just think of spiders. I don't like it. Kylie, change it. You should change it. Not because you stole it from your friend, just because it sucks.
Because it sucks. Kylie's taking flights, 14-minute flights on her PJ.
Yes, that is so true. So I agree with the world in saying that she probably shouldn't be doing that. That's not very good.
I mean, but if you had a private jet, would you take it anywhere?
Within reason. If it's a 3-hour drive, I'll take my PJ. But I'm not going to do it and then like go to one place and turn back around like she does. Like, I'm taking it. I'm going to be there for a day or two and then I come back. And if I have a PJ, I'm going to make sure it's an energy efficient one because, you know, the world.
Is there such thing?
No, probably not. But speaking of, you know, the lottery, Mega Millions was up to like $1 billion.
Somebody won.
Yeah, somebody won. Jeff and I were convinced we were going to win. We were planning out how we were going to spend our money, and we didn't win. And now I'm still poor.
Did I tell you I was so close to winning?
What?
All I had to do was buy a ticket.
So you didn't play.
Was that funny?
That was great. I liked
Was that
it
a funny joke? you know what we should do is we should plan like a girls trip and take a private jet somewhere.
Yes. Ladies, if you're listening, and I know half of you are
and are not
bitches, I think we should do a trip to the Bahamas, and we can get like one of the private suites, which, you know, are like $2,000 a night. But because there's so many of us and we can just like shove ourselves in there, it would be so cheap. Like it would be the price of a regular room, and we'd be able to ball out, and then we can like go to the water park and have a great time. I need a good girls trip. We had so much fun when we were staying at the cabin.
Oh, Alabama was so much fun. And we even talked about this. You have to pick the right people to travel with, because the wrong people can ruin your trip. It's happened to me that the wrong people completely trashed my trip, and I was so mad that I spent money on this and traveled with these people. It wasn't my choice. But I think if we get a really good group of girls to do this, it would be so much fun.
We would have the time of our lives. Oh, so you know what else happened this week that I wanted to get your take on? Teresa, her wedding.
Oh my God. How did we forget about this? Her hair.
Out of control.
What was that? It looked like she was on the episode of My Big Fat Gypsy Wedding.
She really like thought that looked good. That hairstyle cost nearly $10,000.
No.
It required more than 1,500 bobby pins.
I believe that.
And
wait, the hairstyle was 10,000. Is that counting the crown?
So I think it's counting the crown, and then also the hair that was in there was super expensive fake hair that they use. So she knew that as a queen of New Jersey, she needed a hairstyle that was fit for royalty. So they wanted her to have super over the top hair and look like, you know, one of these like old school, like royal kings and queens, how they had like all the fake hair. And
she
the wave
looked
curls.
like Jersey trash.
She looked disgusting. Okay, so the final look, which cost more than $7,000, not including the nearly $2,500 styling, was magic. So it was made up of 7 bundles of keratin fusion extensions, 1 pack of clips, more than 1,500 bobby pins, and 3 pieces of mesh brought together and stitched to create the insert for the volume. And the removal process was just as tricky as the application. Her makeup artist spent 2 hours helping her take out all of that hair, which is now in a pile somewhere. Could you imagine, like, coming from a person who's been married and it's the most amazing day, wasting that much time of your amazing day putting in this stupid freaking hair and then taking it out
and looking in the mirror and being like, that's it.
She literally looks like trash.
That's it.
I can't. I literally can't.
I hated it. Do you watch The Housewives?
I do not, actually. I never really got into it, and now they're like on season 6,000, and I feel like I'm too far gone.
No, you're not, because I caught up in beginning of COVID.
Look at this one shot.
It's disgusting, and it looks matted.
It's not good, guys. It's not good. If you haven't seen it, you got to Google it. Everybody's talking about it.
Like, she has 0 forehead. I don't like Teresa. I think that she's a brat, but 0 forehead, that hair, like, how heavy is that hair?
Is it crazy to think I read this article and the part that offends me the most is that she thinks she's the queen of New Jersey?
Yeah, she looks like Jersey trash.
Like, bitch, I'm the queen of New Jersey.
Yeah,
okay.
She hasn't met you. I feel like you could catch up. It's a really easy watch. You don't have to, it's one that you can like be on your phone or be cleaning and whatever, and it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But that was one of my like quarantine watches.
I'm going to have to, because I'm running out of Kardashian episodes.
And now it's getting really juicy. Like Beverly Hills has Erica Jane, and her husband was the lawyer that stole all the money from that airplane crash. And he also stole money from like fire survivors and stuff like that. And they talk about it. And she's a mess. She is a mess.
Like upset, or she's a mess in general? She's express.
She's a hot mess express. She's straight up admitting that she's mixing alcohol and antidepressants and sleeping pills that she shouldn't.
Oh my God.
And everyone's just, and it's so crazy because she's admitting this. And then one of the women on the shows is like, well, we shouldn't be, because one of the women is like, hey, like, this is a problem.
Yeah. Like, you have a drug addiction.
And one of the girls is like, no, I mean, she's just letting loose. And I was like, you are the problem.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, no.
If you watched The Housewives, you and I would do great things with it. We would just talk and do crazy recaps.
So maybe I'll start that when I'm done with this.
And they're bringing back Orange County.
Okay. I'm going to start with New Jersey first, and then I'll move to Beverly Hills because those are the only two that really interest me. I have no interest in Atlanta.
No, I never watched Atlanta. I never watched Potomac. I never watched Dallas.
What the hell is Potomac?
I don't know. Apparently it's a really rich area. And then I tried to watch Dubai, and
Too much.
It wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But Beverly Hills and New Jersey for sure. And they're coming back. Her brother and sister-in-law didn't go to the wedding.
Why?
I don't know. There's some drama brewing. Apparently, Teresa accused her of cheating. Or somebody accused her of cheating, so she didn't go.
Okay, so we figured we'd end this with another new game that we have based on this viral trend that's going on Instagram that Jen just told me about 5 seconds ago, and I'm the one announcing it like I know what the hell's going on.
Yeah. You can take credit for it.
Oh, cool. Thanks. So it's this game called He's a 10 But. So we're just going to read off a few of them and see how we feel about it. Is he still a 10 or is he not?
Mm-hmm. And you just get in your single girl brain right now.
Yeah.
Single girl brain.
He's a 10, but he follows a bunch of random Instagram models.
That's fine.
That's fine?
What
Yeah,
about
I
you?
feel like that's fine too. As long as it's not all of them and he's not liking everything and commenting on it and being a total creep.
Yeah, if there's no messages or comments or whatever, I really don't care.
He's a 10, but he's shorter than you. How do we feel about this?
How do we feel about short kings? Depends. I don't know.
So I feel like for the both of us, it differs because you're taller.
Yeah.
So if a guy was shorter than you, it kind of wouldn't be that much of a big deal. But I'm short. So if a guy was shorter than me, we got some problems. He's pretty short.
Yeah. No, even with me though, I've always wanted somebody like at least my height.
Yeah.
Or taller.
What about this one? He's a 10, but he talks about his ex a lot.
Done.
Or his best friend is his ex. Extra done? I'm not mature enough. I'll openly admit it right now.
Yeah, I don't think I'm into that.
He's a 10, but most of his friends are girls.
No.
Can't trust these hoes. These hoes ain't loyal.
These hoes ain't loyal.
So that's interesting. So this website actually has the opposite. He's a 2. You want to read some of these?
Okay. All right.
He's a 2, but he's rich. I'm considering. How rich?
Yeah. And what makes him a 2?
Anyway, he's apparently ugly. I don't know. I mean, a 2 is pretty darn low.
Yeah. That's ogre style.
He's a 2, but he has a really nice smile. There's something about a smile.
I'm a sucker for a smile.
Yeah.
I just don't know what makes him a 2. Like
You're like really disturbed by that part.
yeah. Like your smile is not going to fix that you're like a cheater.
Right. No, but it's not about that. It's he's a 2 because physically he makes your eyes burn a little when you look at him.
But he has a really good smile.
But if you just focus on the smile, it's not as bad.
I think I'm out.
Yeah. He's a 2, but he can cook.
I can cook. I don't need you for that.
All right. So now we're up to a 4. Okay.
Okay.
Just under the middle of a 5.
Okay.
He's a 4, but he dresses really well.
I'm in.
Okay.
I love a good dresser.
He's a 4 and he has the same interests as you.
That's dumb.
Yeah, I know. I mean, honestly, if you chose he's a 4, then that means you're willing to accept a 4 all day.
Right. Right. But like a 10, right, is like absolutely amazing, whether it's like hot bod, whatever. But with like a 2 and a 4, like what makes him a 2 and a 4?
Yeah. It's like we need more information.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a good one. He's an 8, but he dances on TikTok.
I don't mind.
You don't mind?
I don't mind. Can I be in the TikToks? Is he TikTok famous?
It doesn't say he's TikTok famous. He's not TikTok famous. His Aunt Martha is the only person that watches his TikTok.
I'm out.
He's a 7, but he gets jealous easily.
I think a healthy level of jealousy is okay.
Yeah.
Jealousy doesn't bother me. Like there's a line, right? Like I don't want somebody to, question my every move and always accuse me of, stepping outside the relationship.
Yeah.
But a healthy level of jealousy, I'm okay with.
Yeah, it's cute to see that they care a little bit.
Yeah.
What about he's a 9, but he texts you after 11 p.m.?
That's fine.
That's fine.
Yeah.
So you're accepting that you're a booty call?
Oh, only after 11?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess if I'm in that state of mind.
I guess if you got that BDE.
Yeah. If I'm in that state of mind, like only text me after 11, please. I don't need to see your name in the daylight.
Oh my God. So funny.
Okay. What about, let's do some gross ones. He's a 10, but he leaves his toenail clippings on the counter.
I mean, Jeff does that, so I guess I'm willing to accept it.
Oh, he leaves them just like everywhere?
He doesn't leave them everywhere, but like they'll be on the floor, and in our old house, like he'll like bite his nails and he throws them behind the bed. So when we moved the bed, there was like a huge mountain of them, and I was like,
ew.
Get in the room right now. Handle your shit. That's bad boy.
Bad boy. Okay. He's a 10, but he's a vegetarian.
I'm okay with that. No, I got one for you. He's a 10, like so smoking hot. Everything is perfect about him, but he does this weird thing where he sniffs his fingers.
Always sniffing his fingers?
He's just like out of nowhere. You see him like a creep.
I mean, I don't know. I would think it's weird. Can I make fun of him?
I guess so.
He's a 10, but has severe toe fungus.
Ew. I'll allow it. He just has to wear socks all the time.
All the time.
I don't want to see him.
Okay. He's a 1, but he listens to Lower Your Voice Pod.
All day, baby.
Yes.
Love it.
All right. That's how we'll end it. We'll take number 1. As long as he listens to the podcast. Well, guys, that's all we have for this week. Please be sure to tune in every other Friday for a new episode. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Lower Your Voice Pod, and head on over to loweryourvoicepod.com to check out our new merch.
Make sure you're subscribing for notifications of new episodes, and don't forget to leave us a damn review.
Can you please just do that already?
Just do it.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.